got one of these weird 27A batteries. So now I'm going to pick up where I left off, which is drilling for the bolts so I can mount down the heater to the floor. All right, so that'll work. Now I just got to do another one here, and then the two in the back, and that's it. This is me being too lazy to go get the right size bit. All right, so now I'm just going to route my electrical over here, where all my wiring harnesses go, and I'm going to roughly just kind of estimate how much of this I need. It's right about there. So I'm just going to kink it here, give myself an extra inch past my estimation. And that kink is where I'm going to cut it. We're not using this fuse. I'm going to use my actual fuse box. That's why it's there. So, and I'll zip tie it all to the rest of my wiring harness that was neat at one point until I kept adding more stuff. So that's the next step, is electrical, put the rest of the bolts in, put nuts underneath, and then I gotta route the exhaust, and then I gotta route the ductwork, and then we'll test fire it, see how it works. So when I'm working underneath this thing, I like to put it up on the lift, but it's not easy doing it because I have to play musical cars, move the NSX, pull the trailer out, pull these down, either take off that NSX or take off the S2000, put this on the car lift it up. It's not that convenient. There's just too much stuff going on, so I've just aired it up and I'm going to go underneath there and mess around with the exhaust. And that's it. Not ideal. It's a lazy way to do it, but it's quicker. So I'll just put these in there now. I'm more of a measure once, cut twice kind of guy. So now, electrical. I'm going to do my precise measuring technique one more time. I don't like these cheap ass crimps. I have a nice set, I just don't know where it is. I think it's in the back of the trailer actually. The thing is, I try to have multiples of everything so I can have a toolbox for the road and a toolbox here, but I don't exactly have multiples, so once things get put away in the car for me to make a road trip, they kind of stay there and I don't like taking them out. So then I have less tools in the garage, a limited supply. All right, so now I can actually test it. All right, there's my fuse box. Now I'm gonna test everything. And there's my battery switch right there, so. I'll let that fill up and do its thing. Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? That's it. It's the guys from Dumb and Dumber. It's the same sound they make in the movie. I put a new battery in yesterday. So I left the last one on all winter. Forgot, so my air suspension kept trying to be on. I also have a leak somewhere in the airline somewhere. I gotta check it. It's a slow leak, but when I'm camping out, they'll kick on at least once during the night. So I gotta fix that too. I forgot about this. This is supposed to go up and over here with a filter, but I don't think I'm gonna use it. It's a cheesy filter. It's not like the mesh isn't like fine or anything. It's not gonna, it doesn't stop dust from going, it just stops big chunks, but there won't be any here. I mean, I guess like aluminum shavings probably wouldn't be good to suck into the thing, but I'll make sure I vacuum all that. So yeah, I kind of want to see if I can make this work with my remote now, since I got my battery for it. All right, so I got the remote paired by just holding the top right button on that. And now it works. So I just turned it on. And it takes a minute for it to prime and everything. And we'll be feeling heat soon. And it'll probably snake us out of the garage and smoke again. We'll see. Maybe it won't catch on fire this time. So yeah, it's working. I feel heat all the way back out here. Bump it out of that. Oh, I can bolt this thing down on there too. And eventually I think I'm gonna get an extension and run it down like here just to be funny, so you can see it sticking out of the back of the thing, like right down here, you know? I've been thinking about buying aluminum bolts to weld underneath here, so there's just studs sticking up. janky snap-on junk. Is it a snap-on? It is a snap-on. It's crap. Snap-ons really, people are gonna get mad for me saying this, but it's all crap, man. The only thing that's good about them is their lifetime guarantee as long as you can chase down the truck. So what do you think? Something like that for now until I get a longer piece of pipe? I don't really know where I'm gonna mount it there. So I'm saying if I had the longer pipe, I have like existing bolt holes I could just put a 10 mil through. I can do something like this here. Maybe. No, that would be too long. How weird. Oh, you know what? I think I have a bracket that came with this. It's like an L bracket. Could probably mount it right there with the L bracket or something like that even. I don't know. We'll see. Here's what I'm thinking. I don't need to use that at all. I could probably do something like that and use that bolt that I just put on to also hold the exhaust. I think I can. And I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm actually going to take that off. Maybe that's not going to work out. So then that's there. Can I get just a couple threads on here? Just very carefully, because then once I can, then I can send it. Because my hands are getting cramped up under here. That should work. It just doesn't want to make this bend. All right, new plan. I'm just going to sink a bolt through here. All right, so I'm thinking maybe I should just put this here and drill a hole and bolt it, because that thing's fighting with me like crazy. It's just obnoxious. It's a stupid problem to have. Think I could fit my drill here? And I have this bracket here, right? And that's gonna go like that. I think I'll just blow this right off if it's not tight. They sell nice thumb screw ones at Amazon, but I don't know if I'm even gonna use this flexible stuff. I'll probably just do hard piping up to here, like that was my original plan, and for some reason I went to this, but I changed it up. I think I'm gonna go back to my original plan, which was the hard piping. Let's see. I'll get temperature readouts out of this thing. I can test my remote too. So my battery is through my fuel door. Just open the factory fuel door. I can turn on the battery. The first sound you hear is not the heater exploding, that's just my air suspension. Yeah, it worked, it's on. So now I will, it was already up, so it remembers its last setting too. Got like 25 feet of this stuff. The Nest thermostat says it's 56 degrees in here. Let's see how accurate that is. My Nest is over there somewhere. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. 56, 54, 55. So this thing's pretty accurate, or the Nest is accurate, or neither of them are. But that's on. It'll take a minute. I'm hearing it prime. There's already air blowing out of here, but it's cold. So we'll see. And it seems to be like it gets progressively hotter as it goes on. Let's see, ambient out here. The concrete's only 43 degrees out here. Cold. Definitely hoodie weather. I'll give it a couple minutes. But it's blowing out more and more now. I hate this stuff. I feel like it's the Danger Will Robinson. I don't know. It's just flimsy and annoying. Nice for space if you want to coil it up or shrink it down, but I think hard piping won't be that big of a deal. So now it's really starting to bump out, and it's actually starting to feel a little bit warm. 76. Yeah, now it's starting to feel warm. So what's cool about this is if I have like a guest camping in their own tent, because I often bring an extra tent in there, I could get a splitter for this, and I could heat up both tents. So I could heat up mine, I could heat up those guests too. It really bumps out of here. It's already starting to feel really nice. So now we're at 87. It's only been on for like 2.5 minutes or so. Feels nice. 93, 95, 97. It's really bumping out now. And even though everything's exhausting out, I'm definitely gonna have to get a CO2, or a CO, no CO2, CO detector, so for carbon monoxide. And sleep with that in the tent. I actually have a funny story. I should probably say it. So, by the way, so we're at Let's let it get kind of calibrated here. We're at 137, 140, and it's still getting progressively hotter. So there was a time when I was doing commercial fishing and I had an old Toyota pickup. It was before they even called them Tacomas. It was a Toyota pickup deluxe. And I had a cap on it, and I had like curtains in it and an inflatable air mattress. And I was staying at a Hilton hotel. And I was going to the docks every day looking for a job. And I kept going to look for a job, and eventually, this is getting really hot. This thing's gonna warm up my tent, no problem. So anyway, let me finish the story. So I'd been staying in a hotel for a couple weeks and going to the docks every morning looking for a job. And eventually I ran out of money, but I didn't want to stop looking for a job, so I started sleeping in my truck. And one night there was a blizzard, like feet of snow, and I couldn't sleep. I was freezing in the back of my truck, and I was still sleeping at the hotel, but I was sleeping in the hotel parking lot. So I had this idea, and I went and I bought a Mr. Buddy heater, which I still own. It's basically brand new. If anybody wants it, you can have it. And it hooks up to propane, those little mini propane tanks. But once I went to Walmart and hooked it up inside, I was scared that I was going to die of carbon monoxide poisoning, so I couldn't fall asleep. I was warm finally, but I still couldn't sleep because I was worried that I'd fall asleep and have my forever sleep where you never wake up. So I went back to Walmart and I got myself a carbon monoxide detector. And I put that in my cap with the Buddy heater, and I couldn't fall asleep because I was like, well, what if it doesn't wake me up? What if it doesn't work? So then I went back to Walmart and I got an electric heater, and I got an the little light bulb things like you twist into where a light bulb, an incandescent light bulb would go, and it turns into an outlet. And they had landscaping lights on the side of the hotel that light up the building. And they were like HPS, like high pressure sodium bulbs. And I remember I was tracking through the snow like next to where I was parking, and I had an extension cord I bought from Walmart too, and I unscrewed the HPS like landscaping lights that light up the side of the hotel, and I put in my little insert that turns into an outlet, and I put an extension cord in it, and it was snowing so hard that by the time I walked the extension cord over to my truck, it was already covered in snow. You couldn't see the extension cord anymore. And as soon as I plugged in the heater, the whole first floor of the hotel lost electricity because the heater just drew that much. So I was like, oh shit, I look up, all the lights of the hotel just went out, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just not going to sleep. So anyway, I have experience with sleeping in cars and stuff in the cold. And this is going to be a real luxury, honestly. I'm super excited for this. I wish I had this thing then. By the way, it takes a second to get up there, but that's hot. And we're a good 15 feet away from that thing. We wanted to plug this in, or we wanted to put this on just to see how hot it gets, to see if it's like a fire hazard. The canvas tent, it is getting kind of hot to the touch here. So I suppose I might want to get something more insulated that goes from that portion just up to the tent. That way it doesn't melt the canvas. I'm not sure. We'll see. It's not too hot to hold, so I doubt it'll melt the canvas, but it is getting almost there. $190. I have a feeling it's just going to keep going up. Let's see if it hits 200. I'm starting to think it's not accurate, because if it was 200, I wouldn't be able to hold this. That's basically almost boiling. That can't be right. I wouldn't be able to hold this. There's no way. It'd be melting the plastic on this freaking thermometer. So, I don't know. It's warm. It's not that warm. I'm using Harbor Freight crap, so I don't know. Yeah, whatever. I want it to be cold this winter. So as I sit here holding it up to my face, it keeps getting hotter and hotter, like more toasty, more toasty, more toasty. And I think holding this there was just getting this hotter and hotter and hotter. And that may be the temperature of the air coming out of here, but it's also flowing. I think what's important is, if I'm worried about the tent melting, is holding this on the side. And even though in here, is very hot, and the longer I hit it here, we saw it'll go up to 200 degrees. Right here is not really like that. So I don't think it's a concern. I think it'll be okay. All right, so that's it. I have the heater bolted down, wired up. The exhaust is going out of the bottom of the muffler, and I just have to duct it up to the tent. And one of the videos upcoming soon, I'll actually take it out camping in the cold and see if it keeps me and Cassius comfortable. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate the support. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe below, and stay tuned for more videos coming shortly. I try to release one every week. Thanks.